You are the Balaniceps rex, the king of the whale head. A grandiose and pompous name for an animal that looks like a cross between a wooden shoe, a pelican gone wrong, and a T-Rex that lost all fights. Nature has given you the most bizarre beak in Africa to guarantee you a life of pure fratricidal rivalry, loneliness, and paranoia. You are a prehistoric relic, a silent gray shadow in the African swamps, and your menacing appearance is an evolutionary joke, as your real fight is not against crocodiles but against your own brother. Her mother, Balaniceps, lays an egg. So to ensure failure, she lays a second egg. You are the first. Puppy A, you hatch bigger, stronger, and with priority access to food regurgitated by your parents. You look at your sibling Cub B, which hatches 2 days later, smaller, weaker, and completely redundant. Your brother is not a company, he is an insurance policy for your parents. It exists only in case you, chick A, fail, fall out of the nest, or die of some stupid chick disease. Puppy B does not have a biological purpose of its own. He is Plan B, the spare. And it's your job to make sure it's never needed. The nest, a platform of trampled and smelly vegetation in the middle of the swamp, becomes an arena of slow and systematic torture. The parents, monogamous and territorial, bring fish, eels, or, ironically, baby crocodiles in their huge shoe beak, but the food is never enough for two, and that's where the show begins. You, Cub A, are the one who attacks. Their attack is not frenetic or impulsive. He is the cold, calculated tyranny of one who knows he has the blessing of his parents. You peck out. You push. You threaten. You use your superior size and firstborn advantage to dominate Cub B. Cub B, trying to eat the portion that barely fits him, is constantly pushed away, humiliated, and injured. The cruelty of their parents is not in encouraging conflict, but in total indifference. They watch the violence without intervening. They will never feed baby B, even if food is plentiful. They will direct the food and shade, crucial in the scorching swamps. Only to you, Puppy A, Puppy B is, for them, just an obstacle. One more mouth unless you die. It's a brutal evolutionary choice called obligate litter reduction. The result is inevitable. Cub B, weak, injured, and malnourished, languishes in silence. He may die of exhaustion, starvation, or infection caused by his attacks. Parents never recognize or comfort him. They ignore him, and he dies. When silence finally comes, he is taken out of the nest and life goes on. The only lesson you learn in the first week is that in order to survive, you must destroy any competition, and that parental love is a finite, conditional resource. You are a killer from the cradle. If you survive domestic tyranny, you have to survive the tyranny of nature, and your lifestyle is sedentary paranoia. You are not a migratory bird. You're stuck in the swamp, and you hate it. You hate the sun, you hate the lack of trees, and you hate having to stand motionless for hours on end. His hunting technique is the ambush of infinite patience. You slowly walk through the shallow swamps of papyrus and grass, and then, when you find the perfect spot, you freeze. You become the statue of death, a gray prehistoric vision, with its head lowered and beak. You stand still for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour. You wait until a lungfish, eel, or baby crocodile makes the fatal mistake of swimming under your beak. When the prey is in the right place, the attack is a violent and rapid descent. You use your body as a hammer and your beak as a shell. You capture the prey in your mouth, often filled with water and mud, and lift it into the air. The beak is so wide and powerful that you can decapitate prey with sharp edges before swallowing it whole. It is a show of pure strength, a moment of glory that justifies its pathetic existence. But this immobility comes at a price: boredom, exhaustion, and danger. You need to stay close to the water, but the water attracts adult crocodiles, your only serious predators, besides humans. You need to stay calm so as not to scare the fish, but you need to be alert to the shadow of a head with yellow eyes that moves silently on the surface. You are a murderer who spends most of your life in fear of being murdered, living on the edge between hunting and death. Your life is an eternal bet on patience. You are a solitary bird. He has no friends, no bands, no security of numbers. The only sound you make is the one that scares everyone who hears it. The sound of the clicking shoebill, which sounds exactly like a machine gun firing. You use this sound for two things: to fend off territorial rivals, although the mere sight of your beto does most of the work, and for the court. Yes, the sound of gunfire is their mating call. When a pair of shoebills meet, they greet each other with a series of beak clicks. It's the avian equivalent of a mobster handshake, a promise of restrained violence and brief collaboration. But, despite all its sound arsenal, there is the humiliation of the heat. In the scorching swamps, you have an overheating problem and you can't dive into the water to cool down, as this would compromise the hunt. The solution? You behave like an exhausted dog, panting. You perform the Gular vibration, which is basically making the skin on your throat vibrate quickly to evaporate water and release excess heat. It's an undignified posture, one that destroys your prehistoric aura of terror and reduces you to a panting bird. Its grandeur is just skin, and inside, you're always on the verge of thermal collapse. Their lifespan can be long, more than 30 years, and therein lies the real punishment. You don't live short. You live a lot, and you live most of that time alone. Isolation is a key part of your biology. You don't like to be disturbed, and you don't like others of your species around. Except during the brief, tense mating season. You move as little as possible, partly to save energy for ambush hunting, and partly because every move might be your last. You are, in the end, an incredibly slow animal for everything. Its development is slow, its hunting is slow, its movement is slow. His life is a long and tedious wait for something to eat, punctuated by outbursts of violence and the constant threat of being devoured. You are a predator who is always on the edge of being the prey. And ironically, your greatest superpower, massive beak and imposing size, makes you a target of human superstition. In some cultures, its appearance is considered a bad omen. The consequence? You are hunted. Not because of your meat, which is tough and unpalatable, but because farmers don't want your bad luck, and traffickers want you in captivity for display. Your own uniqueness condemns you. You've survived dinosaurs, climate change, and mass extinction, only to be knocked down by the paranoia of a farmer or the vanity of a collector. You trudge into old age, your reflexes slow and your beak less accurate, still making that pathetic machine gun noise when you feel threatened. But in the end, their great longevity is just a burden, an unnecessary extension of their loneliness and fear. You are a king, yes, but a silent and suspicious king of a swampy and stinking kingdom, where your only guaranteed success was the cold death of your brother.